exhibits demonstrating the application part of space technology, how they are using space technology for ease of living. For example, PM Gati Shakti. Now they are showcasing here how space data is used for faster realization of infrastructure projects. We also have the exhibits which showcase how cyclone and natural calamities, for which we are seeing that now we have reduced number of loss of lives. And that is because space technology is being used in a meaningful way. There's also an exhibit of fisheries, and they are showcasing how our fishermen are being benefited from the use of space technology. They get an alert when they go to sea for fishing, and they get an information where they can go and do the fishing, where the borders of the country end, so that they do not cross into the neighboring country's area. And they also get to know where are more fishes available so that they save their time. Agriculture sector also uses space technology in a very useful way. For example, for crop harvest, through space technology, we get to know in advance the status of crop production, and this helps to devise our policies for exports, for imports of agricultural products, and also the other aspects of agriculture. The policy making, we do get a lot of help from space technology. Similarly, forest area, we get to know how much is the forest cover of our country, and accordingly the policies are devised. Also here, we are exhibiting how the large cities, their master plans are devised using the space technology. And even in the mining sector, for example, the mineral mapping is done using the space technology. Every exhibit showcases the power of space technology. And there goes the hard work of our scientists into realizing all these applications. And so we are all here for this National Space Day to salute our scientists. Honorable Prime Minister always encourages that we should use science for ease of living, to make the life of common man easy, more comfortable. And we can see that the space technology is no longer limited to the labs, but it's finding more ways to get connected with the lives of common man. And this is also one of the aspects being highlighted when we are here celebrating the National Space Day. Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh and Chairman ISRO Dr. Somnath accompanying the Honorable President and explaining to her the various exhibits. This showcases the achievements of our scientists. Now, no longer the work is being done in silos. The whole India as a team works to make lives of common man comfortable. I request you all to kindly visit these exhibits, because I think everyone would have some element to add to their knowledge base. एक दौर था जब अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान एक बहुत दूर की कौड़ी लगता था, लेकिन आज ये विज्ञान हम सब के जीवन को बहुत करीब से छूता है। आज केंद्र सरकार के प्रयासों के कारण आम जन भी इस बात को पहचान पा रहा है कि किस तरीके से ये अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान हमारे जीवन को सरल सहज बना रहा है। इस प्रदर्शनी के माध्यम से जिस तरह की एप्लीकेशन स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी की यहाँ प्रदर्शित की गई हैं, उसके माध्यम से भी आप इस बात को बेहतर तरीके से जान पाएंगे कि कैसे अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान हम सब के जीवन के साथ बहुत करीब से जुड़ा है। लैब्स में घंटों जो मेहनत हमारे वैज्ञानिक करते हैं, उस मेहनत का ही नतीजा है कि हमारे हाथ में वो तकनीक आ पाती है जिसका प्रयोग सरकार कर पाती है, सरकार के विभिन्न विभाग करते हैं। नीतियाँ इस तरह की बनाई जाती हैं कि वे तकनीक सरलता से सबके लिए उपलब्ध हो सके। Now, it doesn't take decades for a technology to reach the market from the labs. The system works, and the policies are devised in a way that every technology which is created and which can help in welfare of common man reaches the right hands. Native for States, PM Gati Shakti, these are the initiatives which are making it all possible. Young students explaining what they have created. They are the future of India, the future scientists. The winners of Bharatiya Antariksh Hackathon, Honorable President visiting the stall, trying to understand what have they achieved in this hackathon. There were teams participating from all across India in this hackathon. And the 3 top winners are here, and they have demonstrated their achievement. A great honor indeed when they are explaining to Honorable President their achievements. And now, Honorable President visiting the Robotic Challenge stall. And as I conveyed to you, there are 10 robots which have been showcased here. At ANDHRA, the team and the team members explaining to Honorable President what robot they have created. They were all given a challenge to design a rover, and at ANDHRA explaining the capabilities of their rover. It's a great moment for these young students who are standing in front of the President of India, and they're getting the opportunity to showcase their creation to Honorable President. So in a few moments, Honorable President will be here with us in this plenary hall. with the increasing number of initiatives being taken by the government to promote science and research in the educational institutions, in the schools, in the colleges, and also increasing the budget allocation for science and research, we do hope to have large number of entries in such competitions in the forthcoming years. Honorable President is very keenly trying to understand the applications and the exhibits, how they work, what they achieve, and how are they useful to the common man. प्रदर्शनी के अलग अलग पहलुओं को बहुत करीब से समझने का प्रयास करते हुए माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया, किस तरह से अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान को विभिन्न एप्लीकेशंस के माध्यम से आम जन के जीवन को बेहतर बनाने के लिए इनका प्रयोग किया जा रहा है, इसी का उदाहरण प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं विभिन्न मंत्रालयों के द्वारा प्रदर्शित ये एग्जिबिट्स। So very shortly, Honorable President would be here with us in this plenary hall. You can see the joy on the faces of the young scientists, young students who are showcasing and explaining to Honorable President their exhibits. Honorable President proceeding to the plenary hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh and Chairman ISRO, Secretary Department of Space, Dr. Somnath. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. Namaskar. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, it is with great reverence and joy that we welcome Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, to this illustrious occasion of the first National Space Day. On behalf of the Department of Space, we extend a heartfelt, gracious, and sincere welcome to Honorable President. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests who grace the dais with their presence today. Dr. Jitendra Singh, Union Minister of State, Independent Charge for Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, MOS PMO, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Space and MOS Personnel, Public Grievances and Pension, and Dr. S. Somnath, Secretary, Department of Space and Chairman, ISRO. We also wish to convey our warmest greetings to the distinguished guests who honor us with their presence on this special day. 23 अगस्त, भारत के इतिहास में स्वर्णिम अक्षरों में अंकित वो तारीख जब भारत ने चंद्रमा के दक्षिणी हिस्से में चंद्रयान 3 उतारकर इतिहास रच दिया था। अंतरिक्ष में भारत की क्षमता के इस बुलंद उद्घोष को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने सदा के लिए हर भारतीय के हृदय पर अंकित कर दिया जब राष्ट्रीय अंतरिक्ष दिवस मनाने की घोषणा की गई। आज पहला राष्ट्रीय अंतरिक्ष दिवस जश्न मनाने का तथा अंतरिक्ष के क्षेत्र में भविष्य की रूपरेखा तैयार कर आगे बढ़ने के संकल्प को दृढ़ता प्रदान करने का भी दिन है। And this reflects the theme of the day, ladies and gentlemen, touching lives while touching the moon, India's space saga. To highlight the importance of this day and to welcome the Honorable President of India and the esteemed guests, I now invite Secretary, Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Dr. S. Somnath.
Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, Honorable Minister of State for Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, distinguished invitees, plenary speakers, delegates, students, industry captains, startup companies, all the space enthusiasts, my hearty welcome, greetings to you on the occasion of the first National Space Day. It was on 23rd August 2023, Chandrayaan-3 made the historic landing on the moon, creating a never-before event in the history of the space program of this nation. In ISRO, we never imagined the impact that it's going to create out of this accomplishment. And it is when Honorable Prime Minister of India visited us in the control center after a few days, and he made the announcement of 23rd August to be the National Space Day, and also declared the landing site of Chandrayaan-3 as the Shiva Shakti point. This year, the National Space Day is being celebrated all across the length and breadth of this country with the participation of departments, ministries, educational institutions, science organizations, NGOs, general public, and there is a lot of energy and enthusiasm that is visible. Today we have culminating the entire celebration with the presence of our Honorable President of India on the National Space Day, the very first National Space Day, celebrating the inspirational journey that we had in the Chandrayaan-3, and also to envision the future course of action that we need to take in the space sector, especially the journey in the Amrit Kal. And I wish to thank the Honorable Prime Minister of India for the motivation, the vision that he has given to all of us for creating the next space vision for our country. Today, we have the fortune to have our Honorable President, Draupadi Murmu ji, with us to inaugurate the maiden National Space Day. I remember she has taken keen interest in the space activities and also invited me to the Rashtrapati Bhavan once to start a talk program in the Rashtrapati Bhavan the very first time. Thank you so much, ma'am. And also for your gracious presence in the Rashtriya Vigyan Puraskar. Yesterday, we had the award from her for the team Chandrayaan-3. And I wish to thank for her kind gesture to be with us, to be visiting our stalls, and to be among all of you during this inaugural function of the National Space Day. Thank you, ma'am, once again. And I heartily welcome you to this program. Dr. Jitendra Singh, the Honorable Minister of State, is such a pillar of support for all of us in Department of Space. I think all of you know he has keen interest in space sector, and he has all the time been supporting us with his support, his good gestures and consideration for all of us in Department of Space. And thank you so much for you being with us and also your presence today. My heartfelt thanks and also welcome and greetings to each one of you for the distinguished invitees, speakers, the delegates, and other students and all participants for this program. We hope that the first National Space Day will create an engaging day throughout today, where we interact with all the space users, the space sector people, the ministries, departments, the industry, startups, students, and also to not only to savor the success that we had in the Chandrayaan-3, but more important is to look at what is lying ahead of us, how to create bigger landmark in the history of the space program, how to create a vibrant space ecosystem in this country. And the whole inspirational journey of space program is something that trigger right from today. Thank you so much once again, and welcome all of you. And thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Somnath, for the welcome address. मान्यवर, आज हमारे देश की माननीय राष्ट्रपति जी की गरिमामयी उपस्थिति से इस ऐतिहासिक अवसर पर हम सब अत्यंत प्रफुल्लित हैं। मैं माननीय केंद्रीय मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह से सादर अनुरोध करती हूं कि कृपया आदरणीय राष्ट्रपति जी को शॉल और स्मृति चिन्ह प्रदान कर उनका अभिनंदन करें। And now Honorable President being presented with a special memento, which is a space-grade titanium plaque engraved with National Space Day logo. Thank you, Honorable Minister. And now I request Dr. Somnath to felicitate Honorable President of India with the model of Bharatiya Antariksh Station. दो 2035 तक वास्तविक रूप लेगा ये भारतीय अंतरिक्ष स्टेशन। थैंक यू डॉक्टर सोमनाथ, थैंक यू। नन्ही आंखों में चंदा मामा के सपने देखने से लेकर विज्ञान के मजबूत धरातल पर तैयार सीढ़ियां चढ़कर उसी चांद को छूने की संकल्पना को साकार करता है ये नेशनल स्पेस डे। And being the maiden National Space Day, ladies and gentlemen, widespread celebrations took place across the country from July to August. We present before you a short film on the glimpse of events across the country and the genesis of National Space Day.
Over the last decade, under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, India has achieved path-breaking achievements in the field of space science technology. ISRO has accomplished a stellar journey in space exploration over the years with successful missions like Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, ASTROSAT, Aditya L1 and ExpoSat. These missions have garnered international recognition for the Indian space community. On July 14, 2023, the LVM-3 M4 successfully launched the much-anticipated lunar mission Chandrayaan-3. After an incredible journey spanning around 4 lakh kilometers over the course of 40 days, the Chandrayaan-3 reached its destination, the Moon. On August 23, 2023, the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft achieved a spectacular soft landing near the southern polar region of the Moon. After a few hours, rover ramped down from the lander and India embarked on a historic moonwalk. The Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, applauded the valiant efforts of ISRO scientists. He also saluted the pivotal contribution made by the women scientists of ISRO, the Nari Shakti, in the successful accomplishment of India's lunar landing mission.
23 अगस्त को जब भारत ने चंद्रमा पर तिरंगा फहराया, उस दिन को अब हिंदुस्तान नेशनल स्पेस डे के रूप में मनाया जाएगा.
To celebrate the inaugural National Space Day 2024, the entire country was categorized into 7 zones with various centers of ISRO and other ministries, academia, industries and institutions, the month-long conferences, talks, exhibitions, open houses, quiz, Bharatiya Antariksh Hackathon and ISRO Robotics Challenge, etc. were conducted as part of the National Space Day 2024. The theme selected for this year is Touching Lives While Touching the Moon, India's Space Saga. India's remarkable advancements in the space sector over the past decade demonstrates its unwavering commitment to scientific excellence, technological innovation, and touching the lives of billions of people in the country. With an ambitious vision, the future of the Indian space program looks promising. This will inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, and explorers to reach beyond the universe.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we move forward to the much-awaited award ceremony. Awards will be presented to the winners of 2 competitions. पहला कंपटीशन है रोबोटिक्स चैलेंज का। हमारे देश के युवाओं में स्पेस रोबोटिक्स के प्रति रुचि जगाने और उनकी रचनात्मक सोच को रफ्तार देने के लिए ही इसरो ने रोबोटिक चैलेंज कंपटीशन का आयोजन किया, जिसमें एक ऐसे रोवर को डिजाइन करना था जो कई काम कर सके। A rover that can identify sample, pick and drop at a location by autonomously navigating in a simulated lunar terrain. Proposals were received from 273 teams, out of which 10 teams qualified for the on-field competition. And finally, 3 winners are selected, whose space robotics are also displayed here in the exhibition. दूसरा कंपटीशन था भारतीय अंतरिक्ष हैकाथॉन का, जिसका आयोजन 4 जुलाई को किया गया था। और इस कार्यक्रम का मुख्य उद्देश्य था अंतरिक्ष आधारित अनुप्रयोगों में नवाचार के लिए एक मंच तैयार करना, जो उद्यमियों के लिए संभावित बिजनेस मॉडल में विकसित हो सके। देश भर के छात्रों को 12 क्षेत्रों से जुड़ी हुई समस्याएं दी गई थी, जिनका हल उन्हें तलाशना था। और अब मैं माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया से अत्यंत आदर भाव से करबद्ध निवेदन करती हूं कि कृपया पुरस्कार प्रदान करने के लिए मंच पर आगे आएं। Ladies and gentlemen, we begin with the winners of Robotics Challenge. Third prize goes to Team Samarth. मंच पर पधार रहे हैं टीम के सदस्य कार्तिक पांडे. First year students developed a rover with a split wheel configuration to enhance obstacle climbing, showcasing exceptional creativity. Now invite Muskan, the second team member, to receive the award. Second prize goes to team ANDHRA. I invite on dais Dhanush Kumar V. This team designed a rover that accomplished sample picking and dropping without the need of a robotic arm. Truly remarkable. And now Prabhakaran GS from the team receiving the award. And the winner of the first prize of the Robotics Challenge is Team Titans. I invite on dais Sanjot Kavle, and the team created a rover with safe sample handling and precise autonomous picking and dropping. Outstanding innovation skills indeed. And now Dipanshu Pise from the team is on the dais to receive the award. And now we have the winners of Bharatiya Antariksh Hackathon. Third prize goes to Team Khagola. I invite Biki Ram on the dais. This team developed an application which gave a new insight into the timing capabilities of our first multi-wavelength satellite, AstroSat. And now I invite Shyam Prakash VP to receive the award, the second member of the team Khagola. Second prize goes to Team Lucene. First I invite Sambit Malik. The team developed Shakti, a shadow-based hybrid algorithm for knowledge of topological irregularities to detect craters and boulders using OHRC images. And now, Snigdha Paul receiving the award. And the winners of first prize of Bharatiya Antariksh Hackathon are Team 10011. I invite Navdeep Singh Sidhu on the dais. This team developed Lunar, an application developed to predict safe navigation routes with 10 points of interest for rovers on the moon based on the given coordinates of the landing site. Riya Sachdeva is now receiving the award. आपका बहुत-बहुत आभार माननीय राष्ट्रपति जी पुरस्कार प्रदान करने के लिए. Ladies and gentlemen, ISRO, along with Indian space fraternity, is gearing up to realize the vision led by our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. निरंतर आकांक्षी लक्ष्यों की ओर अग्रसर है इसरो। फिर चाहे बात 2035 तक भारतीय अंतरिक्ष स्टेशन स्थापित करने की हो या फिर 2040 तक किसी भारतीय की मून लैंडिंग की। Now we present before you a short film on Space Vision 2047.
Today, our satellites circling the Earth in space have literally touched the lives of millions of Indians. By simultaneously relaying thousands of telephone calls, enabling high-speed internet and hundreds of TV channels across the length and breadth of the country, they have brought in national integration as never before. And by enabling the provision of accurate weather forecasts and facilitating safe and accurate navigation, they now have a profound influence on the daily lives of Indians. The fact that the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, has also developed many launch vehicles to place these satellites in various orbits further underscores status of India as a major spacefaring nation. To strengthen the space ecosystem, the Government of India has incepted ENSIL to commercialize space technologies and InSpace to promote, regulate and monitor activities in the space sector. Together with ISRO, they unveil the decadal vision, setting the stage for India to emerge as a dominant global space power. The recent successful launches of Skyroot Aerospace's Vikram S rocket and Agnikul's Agniban are making waves. This is a game changer for the country's private space industry, ushering in new opportunities for entrepreneurs and scientists.
Now, as far as space economy is concerned, I think in the last 3 or 4 years there's been a quantum jump. And I have the confidence to say that in the years to come, space economy would be an important component of India's overall economic growth.
As the latest chapter in its 6-decade-old space saga, the country has now embarked on Gaganyaan, the maiden step in its ambitious human spaceflight program. A careful look at the history and particularly from the past 10 years of Indian space program makes us confident about India's future space vision 2047. The Government of India, under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has laid down clear roadmap for the India's space exploration endeavours. ISRO is planning to develop India's next generation launch vehicle. Surya is a heavy lift rocket being developed by ISRO to carry payloads of up to 10 tons to geostationary transfer orbit (GTO) and 30 tons to low Earth orbit (LEO). India's space station mission, Bharatiya Antariksh Station, aims to establish a sustainable Indian presence in space. The mission involves launching a modular and robotically built space station weighing around 52 tons into a low Earth orbit of 400 kilometers. The space station will serve as a research platform for scientists to conduct experiments in microgravity, astronomy and Earth observation. India will witness launch of the first module of Bharatiya Antariksh Station by 2028. As a follow-up to Chandrayaan missions, India is gearing up to bring back samples from the moon through the Chandrayaan 4 mission. This mission is scheduled for 2027 and will feature demonstration of new technologies such as lunar docking, precise landing, sample collection and safe journey back to Earth.
2035 तक अंतरिक्ष में भारत का अपना स्पेस स्टेशन होगा जो हमें स्पेस के अज्ञात विस्तार को जानने में मदद करेगा। इतना ही नहीं, इसी अमृतकाल में भारत का एस्ट्रोनॉट
भारत के अपने रॉकेट से चंद्रमा पर भी उतरकर दिखाएगा। 2047 तक भारत को विकसित राष्ट्र बनाने का संकल्प लिया है।
With these milestone missions, India will progress towards conducting sustained travel of Indian Gaganyatris to space, culminating in the Indian landing on the moon by 2040.
देवी और सज्जनों, राष्ट्रीय अंतरिक्ष दिवस मनाने का एक अहम उद्देश्य है विज्ञान और वैज्ञानिक सोच को आम आदमी तक पहुंचाना, ताकि वे इसे जाने और इससे लाभ भी उठा सकें, युवा वैज्ञानिक सोच विकसित कर सकें। So now I take this opportunity to request Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh to address the August gathering on National Space Day.
भारत की राष्ट्रपति महामहिम श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी, अंतरिक्ष विभाग के सचिव एवं इसरो के चेयरमैन श्रीमान एस सोमनाथ जी, इस सभागृह में उपस्थित विज्ञान के भिन्न भिन्न क्षेत्रों से पधारे हुए विशेषज्ञ गण, महानुभाव, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, आज का दिन बड़ा ही शुभ दिन है, शुभ अवसर है और हम सब भाग्यशाली हैं। भाग्यशाली इसलिए कि भारत का सर्वप्रथम राष्ट्रीय अंतरिक्ष दिवस अथवा नेशनल स्पेस डे का उत्सव मनाने का काम हमारे हिस्से में आया है। आज से ठीक एक वर्ष पूर्व 23 अगस्त 2023 को हमारे एक स्पेस मिशन चंद्रयान ने इतिहास रच करके दुनिया को चकाचौंध कर दिया। चंद्रमा के साउथ पोल पर पहुंचने वाला वो पहला स्पेस मिशन था और तभी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने ये घोषणा की कि प्रतिवर्ष इस दिन को राष्ट्रीय अंतरिक्ष दिवस के रूप में मनाया जाएगा, ताकि हम जहां एक और चंद्रयान की गुणगान को स्मरण कर सकें, वहीं साथ ही साथ आने वाले समय के लिए कार्यसूची एजेंडा पर चिंतन मंथन भी कर सकें। ये कोई साधारण बात ना थी, जैसे सोमनाथ जी ने कहा, जिस चांद के दीदार के लिए दुनिया इंतजार करती है, उस दिन भारत ने उसे छू करके महसूस किया था। And the world never expected that we would be able to achieve this feat, because our journey in space was just about 55 years long. ISRO was born in the year 1969, the year which is remembered for the first human being having landed on the surface of the moon, Neil Armstrong. And we were just getting born. And today, the same ISRO, the same team, within 50 years, just about half a century, we became the first to have landed on the south pole of the moon before anybody else could do. And therefore, when we observe the National Space Day, it's also a day of introspection, reflection, and also to create roadmaps for the future. And also to ponder about how did we manage to cover this long journey in a short time, and where do we go from here? और यदि आप इन प्रश्नों का उत्तर ढूंढें तो ध्यान में आएगा कि हमारे वैज्ञानिकों के पास, हमारे विशेषज्ञों के पास प्रतिभा की कमी ना थी, योग्यता की कमी ना थी, मेहनत करने का मादा भी था, आंखों में अरमान भी थे। आप संग्रहालय में जाइए, सारा भाई अपने बाईसाइकिल के कैरेज पर सामान उठा करके भी साधनों के अभाव की पूर्ति करते थे। और इस सब के बावजूद भी यदि अभाव था तो उस अनुकूलता का जो नीति निर्धारकों के स्तर से अपेक्षित होती है. What was lacking was perhaps an enabling milieu which is expected from the policy planners, from the political leadership, and that was overcome when Prime Minister Modi came in. And for 70 years, space sector had functioned with limited resources and limited funds, also the limited partnerships within and outside. प्रधानमंत्री ने वो गुजरे समय की बंदिशों को तोड़ करके he broke the taboos of the past and liberated ISRO from the shackles which were constraining, which were limiting its journey. And on the day when Chandrayaan was launched, me and Somnath ji was there. We had more than 5,000 spectators and more than 1,000 media persons. One of the media persons came over and said, there are some critics saying, why this halla bulla, what is new? And I asked him a simple question. I said, when did you come here last? He said, this is my first time. I said, that is new. And that is precisely during the formal announcement of successful launch of Chandrayaan. I had just spoken 3 sentences. I said, this is a moment of glory for India, a moment of destiny for all of us who are here to witness this at Sriharikota. And then I said, thanks, Team ISRO, for making us proud. And thanks, PM Modi, for unlocking the doors of Sriharikota. And that indeed was the turning point. And today, within the last 3 years, there has been a quantum leap. I know how many of us in this room are aware of the fact that we were just 1-digit space startup 3 years back. Today, we've gone up to almost 300. The other day, I was saying, if you want to make a good caption out of it, you can say we have gone up 300 times. And that is why the finance minister during her budget had the confidence to say that India's space economy will go up 5 times in the next 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just $8 billion US, and we hope to go up to 44 billion in the next 10 years. And as you were just seeing the space vision for the future, I think one of the most momentous happenings in the next 1 year would be the launch of Gaganyaan. The first Indian human being going into this space. Of course, we had one in early 1980s, but that was a Soviet mission. So purely indigenous mission, living up to the ideals of Make in India, the ideals of Atmanirbhar Bharat, and also at the same time pushing India as a frontline nation of the world. And as you were seeing in the film just now screened, and Prime Minister himself saying कि पहला अंतरिक्ष का हमारा स्टेशन, which is being decided to be named as Bharatiya Antariksh Station, would be there in place in 2035, and finally in 2040, an Indian landing on the surface of Moon, which is not very far. And in a few months from now, one of the 4 astronauts who were displayed in the movie will be accompanying his counterparts to the International Space Station. Wing Commander Shukla, who is now promoted as Group Captain Shukla, has already been identified for that exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, space technology today has entered every Indian household. And I'm glad to note that space technology is also adding value to its performance through artificial intelligence, through machine learning, through quantum technology, as you saw in the citations of these youngsters who received the awards this morning. And India today has proved to the rest of the world its space capability in all the three verticals, whether it is space transportation, whether it is space ground station, whether it is space platforms. And apart from Earth and deep sea, now we are going to the next level to reach out and clear the space debris. Honorable Rashtrapati ji very rightly was expressing her concern when we were entering this room कि इतने सारे सैटेलाइट अंतरिक्ष में चले गए, वहाँ इसकी भीड़ का क्या निवारण होगा. And I am glad to share with the Honorable Rashtrapati कि इस बात में भी पहल भारत ने की है. We have set up one of the latest technologies in Bengaluru to detect, to clear debris. And very soon, we will be also retrieving back the commissioned satellites. जो सैटेलाइट अपना काम मुकम्मल कर चुके हों, उनको वापस धरती पर लाने की कला भी दुनिया भारत से ही सीखने वाली है. And I think one of the most exclusive components of space technology in the last 10 years under Prime Minister Modi has been that it was no longer limited only to the launching of rockets. I vividly remember, I think it was the year 2015, when Dr. Radhakrishnan was the chairman. We had a 2-3 day long marathon brainstorming in Vigyan Bhavan, where space scientists were made to interact with the representatives of each ministry so that they could share wherein the space technology could step in. And I think that's proved to be a role model for the rest of the world also, because we have so many sectors, so diverse, so heterogeneous, which no other country has. And therefore today, space technology is enriching our work in fisheries, in agriculture, the soil health card, the Swamitva program, which has almost become a role model for the rest of the world, in disaster monitoring, in natural resource monitoring, in railways, the unmanned rail crossings, in the construction of highways, the construction of smart cities, education, healthcare, you name a sector, and India has shown the rest of the world how space technology can improve our performance. And before I conclude, for the benefit of those, because as I was saying yesterday, during one of the discussions, after Chandrayaan, space technology has fascinated every Indian. And many of those who may not have a direct stake in space sector, many of them who may not be interested, but since they feel a sense of esteem, they feel a sense of pride, they look here, India can do it. India can lead the rest of the world. And for the benefit of those, because as students of science fraternity, we've been taught not to speak without evidence. India was the first to reach the Mars in the first attempt. India, as I said a few moments ago, through Chandrayaan, was the first to reach the south pole of the moon. India is the second to have an X-ray polarization satellite. And India, a few months ago, was the third to have a solar observatory, the Sun-Earth endpoint, the Aditya. And therefore, I have the confidence to say, when we talk of India 2047 and India reaching that pedestal, when we try to scientifically analyze how it would happen, where the value addition will come from, the value addition will come from those sectors which were hitherto either unexplored or underexplored. हमारे वो सरमाए जो ना पूरी तरह तराशेंगे ना तलाशेंगे, और मोदी जी की प्रेरणा से उस तरफ हमारी निगाह गई. And one of them is going to be the space sector. And I'm proud to declare this morning, ladies and gentlemen, with Chairman ISRO as a witness, that in 2047, space sector will be an important component writing the growth story of Viksit Bharat. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your inspiring words. Devi और सज्जनों, हर स्वप्न जब गगन की विशालता समान प्रयासों से सजता है तो परिणति को प्राप्त करता है। और इसी सोच को यथार्थ की जमीन पर साकार करने के लिए अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण इस नेशनल स्पेस डे के ऐतिहासिक अवसर पर मैं माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया जी से विनम्र भाव से निवेदन करती हूं कि कृपया आज के इस अवसर पर अपने आशीर्वचनों से हमें कृतार्थ करें। ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू।
इस समारोह में उपस्थित अंतरिक्ष विभाग के राज्य मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, अंतरिक्ष विभाग के सचिव, अंतरिक्ष आयोग और इसरो के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर एस सोमनाथ जी, वैज्ञानिकगण, अन्य गणमान्य अतिथियों, देवियों और स्वजनों, वो ऐतिहासिक क्षण जब विक्रम लैंडर चंद्रमा के दक्षिणी ध्रुव के पास सफलतापूर्वक उतरा था, हर भारतीय के लिए अत्यंत प्रसन्नता का क्षण था। मैंने टचडाउन का लाइव प्रसारण देखा था। हर भारतीय की तरह मैं भी गर्व से भर गई थी। इस सफलता के उपलक्ष्य में नेशनल स्पेस डे मनाने की घोषणा करना एक सराहनीय कदम है। मैं समस्त देशवासियों और आप सभी को प्रथम नेशनल स्पेस डे की बहुत बहुत बधाई देती हूँ। अपने प्रारंभिक दिनों के अब तक इसरो की यात्रा शानदार रही है। इसरो ने स्पेस सेक्टर में उल्लेखनीय उपलब्धियां हासिल की हैं। जैसा कि यहाँ उपस्थित वैज्ञानिक समुदाय के लोग जानते ही हैं कि 1-2 दिन पहले ही चंद्रयान की प्रज्ञान सेवर से प्राप्त जानकारी से ये धारणा मजबूत हुई है कि आरंभ में चंद्रमा पूरी तरह मैग्मा का महासागर था और धीरे धीरे शीतल होते हुए वर्तमान स्वरूप की तरफ बढ़ा। इसे वैज्ञानिक भाषा में लूनार मैग्मा ओशन हाइपोथेसिस कहते हैं। मुझे ये जानकर प्रसन्नता हुई है कि भविष्य में इसरो द्वारा चंद्रमा के अध्ययन के लिए अन्य मिशन की भी योजनाएं है। मैं संपूर्ण इसरो परिवार तथा विशेषकर चंद्रमा मिशन के से जुड़े सभी लोगों को अपनी शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ। आज के कार्यक्रम में विद्यार्थियों की भागीदारी देखकर मुझे खुशी हो रही है। इसरो द्वारा आयोजित भारतीय अंतरिक्ष हैकाथॉन और रोबोटिक्स चैलेंज की विजेताओं को मैं हार्दिक बधाई देती हूँ। मैं आशा करती हूँ कि इसरो द्वारा चलाए जा रहे स्पेस ऑन व्हील्स और स्पेस ट्यूटर्स जैसे कार्यक्रम जनमानस सामान्य एवं विद्यार्थियों में स्पेस के बारे में उत्कृष्टता और जानकारी बढ़ाने में उपयोगी सिद्ध रहेंगे। देवियों और स्वजनों, स्पेस सेक्टर के साथ साथ इसरो ने देश के सामाजिक और आर्थिक विकास में भी अमूल्य योगदान दिया है। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि आप ऐसे ही देश के विकास यात्रा में योगदान देते रहेंगे। इस महीने में भारत के स्पेस प्रोग्राम के जनक माने जाने वाले डॉक्टर विक्रम साराभाई की जयंती भी मनाई जाती है। ये न केवल महान वैज्ञानिक थे बल्कि एक दूरदर्शी इंस्टीट्यूशन बिल्डर्स भी थे। उन्होंने स्पेस सहित विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में कई संस्थानों की स्थापना की। उन्होंने कहा था, एंड आई कोट, "Those that can apply their insights to the problems of the community and of the nation discover an exciting area of activity where efforts is rewarding even while the results so slowly." अनकोट। वर्तमान परिप्रेक्ष्य में उनका ये कथन अत्यंत प्रासंगिक है क्योंकि भारत के स्पेस प्रोग्राम का उद्देश्य अंतरिक्ष के क्षेत्र में आत्मनिर्भरता प्राप्त करते हुए देश का सामाजिक और आर्थिक विकास करना है। आज के इस आयोजन के विषय टचिंग लाइव्स while touching the moon. इंडिया स्पेस सागा भी इसी उद्देश्य से जुड़ा हुआ है। देवियों और स्वजनों, स्पेस एक्सप्लोरेशन ने मनुष्य की क्षमताओं को बढ़ाया है, मानव की कल्पना को यथार्थ में बदला है, ब्रह्मांड के रहस्यों से पर्दा उठाया है। स्पेस एक्सप्लोरेशन रोमांचकारी होने के साथ साथ एक चुनौती भरा कार्य भी है। इसमें अनेक समस्याएं आती हैं। इन समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए किए जाने वाले अनुसंधान विज्ञान के विकास को गति देती है और मानव जीवन को बेहतर बनाती है। स्वास्थ्य और चिकित्सा, परिवहन, सुरक्षा, ऊर्जा, पर्यावरण और सूचना प्रौद्योगिकी समेत ऐसे कई क्षेत्र हैं जो स्पेस सेक्टर में हुए विकास से लाभान्वित हुए हैं। उदाहरण के लिए आरंभिक चरण की सैटेलाइट्स को पृथ्वी की कक्षाओं का अध्ययन करने के लिए निर्मित किया गया था। उन सैटेलाइट से प्राप्त ज्ञान के बल पर सैटेलाइट कम्युनिकेशन का विकास हो सका। आज इसके बिना मानव जीवन की कल्पना संभव नहीं है। देवी और स्वजनों, भारत के स्पेस सेक्टर की प्रगति असाधारण है। चाहे वो कम संसाधनों में सफलतापूर्वक पूरा किया गया मंगल मिशन हो या एक बार में 100 से अधिक सैटेलाइट्स का सफल प्रक्षेपण हो, हमने अनेक प्रभावशाली उपलब्धियां हासिल की है। निजी क्षेत्रों के लिए स्पेस सेक्टर के खुलने से स्टार्टअप्स की संख्या में बहुत तेज गति भी वृद्धि हुई है। इससे न केवल अंतरिक्ष अनुसंधान की उन्नति हुई है, बल्कि हमारी युवा शक्ति को अपने प्रतिभा दिखाने और उसे तराशने के नए अवसर भी मिले हैं। कुछ महीने पहले ही भारत की एक कंपनी ने सिंगल पीस 3D प्रिंटेड सेमी क्रायोजेनिक इंजन संचालित रॉकेट का सफल प्रक्षेपण किए हैं, जो कि इस तरह की पहली उपलब्धि है। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संबंधों में विश्वास एवं साझेदारी बढ़ाने के लिए भी स्पेस सेक्टर एक अच्छा माध्यम है। उदाहरण के लिए पड़ोसी राष्ट्र में संचार को बढ़ावा देने के लिए भारत ने वर्ष 2017 में साउथ एशिया सैटेलाइट GS-89 का सफल प्रक्षेपण किया था। अन्य देशों के साथ जुड़ाव के नई खितीज खोलने के लिए भारत सरकार द्वारा किए जा रहे प्रयास अत्यंत सराहनीय है। इसरो भारत का अंतरिक्ष स्टेशन स्थापित करने की दिशा में आगे बढ़ रहा है। मैं गगनयान मिशन की भी उत्सुकता से प्रतीक्षा कर रही हूँ, जिसमें भारतीय अंतरिक्ष टीम को अंतरिक्ष में ले जाया जाएगा। मुझे विश्वास है कि इन सभी मिशन के फलस्वरूप ऐसे परिणाम सामने आएंगे जिनसे देश सामाजिक, आर्थिक एवं वैज्ञानिक रूप से लाभान्वित होंगे। देवियों और स्वजनों, हमें भावी चुनौतियों के लिए भी तैयार रहना है। स्पेस डेब्री अंतरिक्ष मिशन के लिए समस्या अत्यंत चिंताजनक है। अंतरिक्ष अनुसंधान की गतिविधियां निरंतर चलती रहे, इस उद्देश्य के साथ इसरो सिस्टम फॉर सेफ एंड सस्टेनेबल ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट फैसिलिटी का संचालन किया जा रहा है। ये एक सराहनीय कदम है। मुझे ये जानकर भी खुशी हो रही है कि भारत वर्ष 2030 तक अपने सभी अंतरिक्ष अभियानों को डेब्री फ्री बनाने के लिए लक्ष्य रखे हैं। हमारे निष्ठावान वैज्ञानिकों ने न्यूनतम संसाधनों का उपयोग करके भारत के स्पेस प्रोग्राम को विश्व के श्रेष्ठतम स्पेस प्रोग्राम्स में स्थान दिलाया है। इसके लिए वे सराहने के पात्र हैं। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है हमारे देश में अंतरिक्ष विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में निरंतर प्रगति होती रहेगी तथा हम उत्कृष्टता के नए मानक स्थापन करते रहेंगे। मैं भविष्य के सभी स्पेस मिशंस के लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देती हूँ। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
आपका आभार माननीय राष्ट्रपति जी. Please rise for national anthem. राष्ट्र Ladies and gentlemen, there are a few important announcements. I request you all to please wait for a few seconds before leaving the hall. Now, all the students who are here, you are requested to please take an exit on the left of the stage, that is from the exit on my right. Kindly look at me. All the students are requested to please exit from the gates on my right, and you have to go to the exhibition first. And after the exhibition, you have to go to hall number 14 for the refreshments. This is an instruction for the students. And all the dignitaries, all our esteemed guests, you are requested to please exit the hall from the door on my left. That is to your right. All the guests, other than the students, you are requested to please exit from the gates on my left and kindly proceed to hall number 14. And you are all requested to please assemble back at 11:15 in the multi-purpose hall, which is right behind the plenary hall. Our esteemed guests, I hope the instruction is clear. Kindly proceed from the gates on my left, and at 11:15 you are requested to kindly assemble in the multi-purpose hall, which is right behind the plenary hall. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your cooperation. You were a wonderful audience indeed. And with this, I, Mamta Chopra, take your leave. Bye-bye, take care, have a wonderful day and a wonderful National Space Day. Thank you.